Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, little short wrestling video here today. I just want to talk some wrestling there. Canadian Thanksgiving, baby. I gotta go out, so we're not gonna stretch this one out too long there, folks. Just some basic meat and potatoes there, some straight up. You can call it opinions there, but it's opinions that are based on reality, folks. CM Punk has got some problems in AEW, folks. Big problems. Matter of fact, he's got 10 problems, folks. 10 problems with CM Punk in AEW there. Number one, the hype, the buzz, the excitement. It was there for a week and then it crashed, folks. What happened there? He came out to that huge ovation. The fans were crying. Brock Lesnar, a real draw, shows up at SummerSlam. Suddenly people weren't as excited for CM Punk. He came out. He was expecting a big cheer, but it wasn't there, and it's been diminishing ever since. So what happened, folks? Is it bad booking? Is it Punk himself not being that impressive? It's up for debate, folks. Perhaps a mix of everything. But the fact is, the man came out like he was a big star, and a few weeks later, it all came crashing down. People still talk about him. They pretend, they're excited for him and Danny Garcia. Nutcases are pretending to be excited. But overall, the fanfare, the stuff about how WWE's gonna die and all of that came, crashing down, and it's weird, folks. People are wondering, how the fuck can you fuck up CM Punk? Well, they did, folks, If he would have showed up in a real company, let's say, like in WWE there, and then Triple H comes out and it's a big deal and it builds up to a real match against a real opponent, maybe a few jobbers along the way to the big match, but Danny Garcia would last 3 minutes against Punk in WWE, and then Triple H comes out, you know what I mean, for some type of face-off. Things would be built properly, there'd be excitement, there'd be a reason to watch, folks. WWE wouldn't have Danny Garcia, first of all, anywhere close to Punk, but to make it a long competitive match where this jobber is beating Punk, how can you not lose interest in CM Punk mere weeks after his debut? Folks. Number two, the whole wrestling against jobbers thing, it's bad. The match with Darby Allin, no story. He wants to get him over. Then it's Powerhouse Hobbs. Danny Garcia. Next week, he's wrestling Evan Bourne or Matt Sydal. Who cares? Who the fuck cares? You know what I mean? Matt Sydal is finished. Why put him in the match with Punk? This is ridiculous. They think maybe this is going to elevate every wrestler, but what you're doing is bringing down the stock of CM Punk there. People have already lost interest. Him wrestling against complete jobbers, so it ain't working, it's boring, and it's hurting CM Punk. Number three, the promos aren't very exciting. He comes out the past month It's about how he loves the fans. Hey, people don't like the love fest. You know, things are gonna get better at some point. I love you guys. You know, I'm fighting a jobber on Rampage, a show nobody watches. And then he leaves. It's boring, you know what I mean? He came out all the first time, you know, I'm back, ice cream, Ring of Honor, or whatever. AEW fans were excited with this, and then it's been boring. Nothing. He comes out, he doesn't say anything. Like, oh, it's all from the heart, no script. Maybe you need a script so you can have some substance in these promos. Just a dude coming out, hey, I like you guys. I have a match next week. And then he just walks away. I don't see a big promo master here, folks. I'm sorry there. Number 4, folks. His matches have been boring. You know what I mean? These matches against the jobbers, if they were at least good, exciting matches, at least it'd be entertaining, but it's not. Punk against Danny Garcia, technical wrestling. Danny Garcia working the leg for 10 minutes. This is putting me to sleep. Punk against Powerhouse Hobbs, boring. And they almost killed Powerhouse Hobbs with the terrible botch in the match, you know. So far in the ring, he's been boring. Some people are saying he has ring rust, stuff like this. Just to me, it seems like he's plain, very plain and boring and cheap in the ring so far. Very cheap. 5th match, he's ripping off Bret Hart's match there. I find that embarrassing. You know, if it was Darby Allin against Jungle Boy, they're two young guys, they idolize Bret Hart, they rip off Bret's match. But CM Punk, he's supposed to be a star or whatever. The fuck's he doing ripping off the Hitman, even ripping off the face that he did, the same moves, the same face, and, you know, just changing a bit of moves. I find that pretty fucking cheap. For a guy that's supposed to be a star to just rip off a superior wrestler called Bret Hart or whatever, you know what I mean? Bret is a good wrestler. CM Punk doing technical wrestling, boring, you know what I mean? At least Bret was better at it, way better, more convincing, you know, in every way that you can think of, you know what I mean? And isn't AEW the creative place? The place where they're supposed to go to be creative? And what do? They rip off other people's creativity. That don't seem very creative to me. When you have nobody to tell you what to do, you just rip off other people's shit because you ain't good enough to come up with real stuff, you know what I mean? Fuck off, rip off artists, they rip off AEW, Attitude Era, rip off WCW, nothing original in this company. And now they're ripping off Bret Hart's matches. Embarrassing, folks. Number 6, he looks old and skinny now, CM Punk, you know what I mean? I think he looked better in WWE. He just looks way skinnier, you know, and he looks older. He just does. He looks older than 50 or 42. He looks older than Edge, you know what I mean? Number 7, it's starting to feel like he's just a regular guy, you know. In WWE, he had a mystique. You know what I mean? He had a look. Now he just looks like an old guy with his long boys or whatever, and he just comes off as a regular guy. Just a guy that's self-righteous and full of himself kind of deal there, but like, and he acts like he's normal. Hey, I'm an indie fan like you guys. I'm just a Ring of Honor fan. Like, he makes himself look like a regular guy. You know what I mean? In WWE, he was fighting Cena, but back then, the fans were pissed at the company, you know? We wanted the Attitude Era back. We were pissed at John Cena. WWE took this and pretty much gave it to CM Punk, you know? It's not really Punk who did anything. He just said what the fans wanted to hear in the pipe bomb. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So he never really did anything larger than life for real there. He was always a basic wrestler, you know, but at least he had something. He was somebody. He was a guy that was wrestling Cena, Taker. He wrestled The Rock, stuff like this. Now he just looks like an average Joe in AEW. He looks like an average guy and he acts like one. He's acting like some kind of smart aleck indie fan, like, oh, Japanese is better than this. It's like, it's not entertaining. And he looks plain, making himself look like a fucking goof indie fan. That's not good for business. I like Ring of Honor, guys. That's not good for business. You lose your star power. He should be a star, and this is a star. He's going to be wrestling stars like Triple H and other real people. You know what I mean? Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. This would have been good, you know? Punk against a bunch of Hammenagers. He comes out there, he looks like he's 55 years old. I'm one of you guys. I'm just a schmuck. Like, how is this good? How does this make him look like a star? Like, you're killing his image and now he doesn't look special. Him getting his ass whooped in UFC kind of killed the magic as well there, you know? He just looks like a guy that's not really tough now, and he looks older, and it's bad, folks. Number 8, he ain't drawing any ratings, folks. People are saying he's not a needle mover, stuff like that, especially on Rampage, 600,000 views. It's embarrassing. You're killing the look and the image of Punk being a star. You're killing this with his indie fan antics and low ratings, wrestling jobbers. You're killing him, and now he has no ratings. So, congratulations. They're number 9. Basically, he's a one-trick pony, folks, and that's the pipe bomb / talking shit about WWE / giving the internet what they want to hear. There was nothing original in this pipe bomb. You know what I mean? It was just telling us what we wanted to hear, and that's what he's good at. You know what I mean? Maybe if he wrestles Kenny Omega, he can tell us what we want to hear, that Omega isn't really the best in the world there. And then just retire or something there. Hopefully you don't completely kill your image so you can have one last run in WWE, but by then Triple H might be completely retired. Punk might be completely damaged goods, even worse than he is now, so maybe McMahon won't even want to touch him, but he's a one-trick pony. You know, talking shit against McMahon, and that's about it. And number 10, folks, his fans are psychotic marks there. They took this pipe bomb, a promo from 10 years ago. What has he done since there? 2011. It's 2021. He hasn't done jack shit in 10 years. You know what I mean? But they took this promo literally and seriously, like it was a fucking speech from Jesus Christ. And every day on Twitter, these psychotic marks go on Twitter. Wrestling will be better when McMahon dies. You know, they wish that McMahon will die there for real. They want this because it's something that Punk said in a promo 10 years ago. That's how deep and psychotic and weird his fans are there. You know, so obsessed with him that they want to hijack every segment just to worship Punk because he told us what we want to hear 10 years ago. How about you get a life, you fucking marks? You know, McMahon made him go out there and cut this promo. You know what I mean? Get a fucking grip there. Get a life. You know, he's just an average dude. He fucking did a promo. He got lucky or whatever with this. And he hasn't done a damn thing since. It is what it is. He's not going to kill McMahon. He's not going to save wrestling. Fans were leaving. And they didn't give a fuck about CM Punk. They didn't give a fuck about Daniel Bryan. Why would the lapsed fans come back for a couple of indie guys like this? Like, it is what it is. Big problems with CM Punk. Hopefully it can improve. You know, maybe he can have a match with Jericho there, a 2-star match, and maybe a match with Christian Cage. I mean, you know, but who's he gonna wrestle? Cody Rhodes, QT Marshall. I mean, he has fuck all he can face. A couple of guys, and that's it. How is this gonna kill McMahon? I have no clue. What I do know is that y'all are fucking crazy there. You're crazy if you think that junk like this is gonna kill McMahon. You know what I mean? It's sad, folks. What wrestling has become. What these AEW fans are, folks. It's sad to see. It's crazy. Until next time, peace. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving to the Canadians watching there. And to the AEW fans, I mean, you're sad. Pathetic. What has become of CM Punk? Was he even a star to begin with? Or was it good manipulation from McMahon to make believe that Punk was a star? I mean, we'll see, folks. We'll see what happens in AEW. Until next time, peace, folks.